Hi, I'm Victoria Yokoyama, and currently I work for the USDA Agricultural Research Service in Parlier, California, as a research entomologist. My roots in California were actually in the Sacramento Valley, and I grew up on a farm, and the pest control practices were always a part of my daily life. My first experience with IPM and integrated pest management was in fact as a young woman at University of California at Berkeley. And the person that introduced this concept was actually Dr. Middlecoff. And Dr. Middlecoff referred to IPM at that time as integrated control. It was then later changed to integrated pest management. Integrated pest management, I felt, had actually grown out of the anti-pesticide movements that evolved with the Rachel Carson's book, Silent Spring. And the public became very aware of the inherent problems associated with chemical pest control. And of course, DDT was the first culprit, and it was associated with thinning of bird shell eggs and the loss of the peregrine falcon populations, as well as the seabirds and coastal seabirds such as the brown pelicans. After that, there was more of an interest, and I think that was probably one of the most important aspects of this concept of integrated control or integrated pest management, as the new term was to emphasize and look at more closely biological control. Biological control, in my mind, was always an isolated group of scientists that had this concept and dream for controlling insects using natural enemies, parasitoids and predators. And that group of people were very, very focused. And they brought into this whole concept of integrated pest management a new idea of trying to control pests in a manner which was compatible with insecticide usage. So then the blend that became integrated pest management included the use of chemicals in a very smart manner, in a very intellectual manner, as well as sparing the natural enemies that occurred, especially in orchards. One of the things that I find for integrated pest management in orchards is that the whole concept of IPM is actually very common now. So if you have a grower that is just starting out and is very naive about IPM, all they have to do is search on the internet type in IPM, and up pops a lot of resources for that person. And of course, they're usually related to the University of California Cooperative Extension on how to go about pest management in their commodity without using extensive use of insecticides and then sparing their biological control agents. That type of awareness of IPM being a common household word and also a part of the pest control advisor system, especially in the state of California, is really conducive to growers who want to reduce pesticide usage basically out of an economic reason, because pesticides are very costly. And if you could reduce applications and spare then other means of cultural practices as well as biological control, and then use that in a very environmentally favorable and a very cost-effective and economical way, then it would support pest control in a very intelligent manner. Also, in IPM, the way it stands right now is something that's very useful. It's a concept that I think all growers are very aware of, all pest control advisors are very aware of, that people that are in the industry strive for. But in the future, we're going to have to see even more changes. And those changes are ultimately going to involve genetics. And in that concept, then, we're going to be looking at crops that are more resistant to insect attack, and also crops that are produce a high volume of commodity per acres, and with also maintaining less water use.